Good evening, I'm Keely Van Middendorp.
And I'm Tim McGonigal. First at 10, just 2 days after reopening, a woman was injured this afternoon after approaching a bison in Yellowstone National Park.
Now, the woman was knocked to the ground in the Old Faithful Upper Geyser Basin after getting within 25 yards of the bison, which park officials warned was too close. Emergency medical responders from the park responded immediately, but the woman refused transportation to the hospital. This is the first bison-related incident in 2020. And yesterday, Governor Steve Bullock announced that Montana would begin entering phase 2 of his reopening plan on June 1st.
But dozens of people were on hand at the state capitol today to protest Montana's continued restrictions linked to COVID-19.
MTN's Jonathan Ambarian has more on the rally.
On Wednesday afternoon, people gathered on the sidewalk in front of the Montana State Capitol to express their discontent with continued restrictions on businesses and on gatherings, and to call for the state to be fully reopened. Those who attended the rally say they see the state's rules as arbitrary, favoring some groups over others, and that they were unreasonable restrictions on people's freedom. Drew Coaster of Helena says her family's business was considered essential, so it could stay open. But she says the regulations on other businesses have been unjust, and the effects fell too hard on working people.
Honestly, if the non-essential, quote-unquote, businesses aren't working, I mean, that's like cutting half off of the economy right there. So we depend on them as well.
Coaster says she acknowledges the concerns about the coronavirus, but that a full shutdown wasn't justified.
On the principle of it, as a free society, we can't just force people to close down because things are scary. If we are not free when things are bad, then are we really free, or are we just play acting at being free?
In Helena, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.
And Governor Steve Bullock announced yesterday that Montana would begin entering phase 2 of his reopening plan on June 1st.
The state of Montana is reporting 7 new cases of COVID-19, all related to a single outbreak in Ravalli County. According to health officials, Ravalli County now has the highest number of active cases in the state with 8. The Ravalli County Health Department says all the cases in the cluster are related and involve travel. Health workers say they have identified more than 30 other residents who show no symptoms but who are in quarantine. The new cases bring the total number of cases in Montana to 477. A big decision from MSU Northern. The university has decided to start fall classes on August 31st. We're told they are pursuing a modified schedule. This will include face-to-face lectures and labs. The chancellor has established work groups to develop a more detailed plan for the fall semester, which will be updated as decisions or circumstances change. Great Falls College MSU celebrated its 50th year as an institution this year, but with no in-person graduation to help commemorate that, the school is getting creative. The college is sending out 295 graduation boxes, each one tailored to each specific graduate. They also have streamers and noisemakers for at-home ceremonies. And the program includes a QR code to watch the school's commencement video. Great Falls College CEO and Dean Susan Wolf said the teamwork of the faculty and staff made the school well equipped to handle the virus. That same teamwork made the graduation boxes a success too.
It's taken a village. That's what I want to say is, and we at the college very often do that. It's not one person who does that, it's everybody. And so we've been working on it for a number of weeks. I think that is a testimony to the spirit and the culture of this college is, okay, we need to do this because we want our students to succeed. And so we're all going to do everything we need for that to happen.
And the school hopes to have the boxes sent out by Friday. Well, a severe thunderstorm watch is in effect for many Montanans tonight. STORMTracker weather team is standing by to tell us more.
Grant Garland joins us now. And Grant, definitely a few showers in the forecast today.
Yeah, that and a lot of thunderstorms, and we're going to go ahead and delve right in to that. So because of the severe potential for today, and kudos to the Storm Prediction Center because they issued a spot on right now, taking you right where the activity is. A lot of lightning along this bow. See these thunderstorms? They've kind of bowed out right around here, and it's made for quite an eventful evening. As we take a look right now, we have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. First off, for impacting areas like Hinesdale as well as Saco and St. Marie. We're looking at that severe thunderstorm warning being lifted in the next 24 minutes at 10:30, and then also Scobie looking at this severe thunderstorm warning being lifted around 10:30 as well, affecting Daniels and Sheridan County. So overall, we do see that severe thunderstorm watch that will be lifted by 11 p.m. and that was all due to the severe thunderstorms today being able to produce damaging winds as well as hail and frequent lightning. And we have received 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts out towards north of Lewistown and south of Glasgow, so it's been a very windy day. But later in the show, I'll talk about the windy conditions we are expecting for tomorrow.
Thanks, Grant. We'll check back in with you soon. Coronavirus closures are prompting budget shortfalls for many businesses and industries across the state. The parking program in downtown Great Falls isn't immune. Paid parking went away when shops closed in response to stay-at-home orders. Now that things are opening back up, MTN Shannon Newth explains it's a little complicated to restart paid parking.
When businesses closed due to coronavirus concerns in late March, Great Falls City Manager Greg Doyon put the brakes on paid on-street parking downtown. Now that shops and restaurants are reopening, street parking is still free.
There's definitely some challenges that we have to work out.
One of those challenges is the meters themselves. Someone stole the key to them, so the city took them down entirely to protect the money inside. Thankfully, no one got to the change.
To put them back into service, we're still working on trying to find new keys that will actually work. So far, we haven't found the right combination.
Raymond says he knows not everyone is eager to pay for parking again, but they need the funding provided by the meters.
The revenue that came from the meter was roughly half of the revenue for the parking program.
That program pays for maintenance and repairs to parking areas and garages, as well as parking attendants and enforcement staff. People still have had to pay for lots and garages over the last couple of months, but revenue there has dropped too. To give you an idea of loss, revenue from garages in May of 2019 was roughly $13,000. May of 2020, $950, down around 92%.
Right now, we're eating into our reserves.
That money was originally slated for garage repairs and surface lot improvements. Raymond adds if they don't start bringing money in again soon, it could potentially lead to some tough staffing decisions in the next few weeks.
The rest of the community has been feeling, the pinch when it comes to jobs and different things like that. The parking program has definitely been feeling that pinch as well.
In Great Falls, Shannon Newth, MTN News.
And there's no set timeline for when meters could be back up and running. In the meantime, the city is considering enforcing the 2-hour time limit for on-street parking. If they go that route, you'll see signs posted downtown. There are no changes for parking garages or lots. Those continue to be paid parking areas. And you may have noticed some extra savings on your car insurance bill this month. That's because when the pandemic prompted stay-at-home orders, there were less drivers, which equated to fewer accidents. April and May saw a tremendous drop-off in motorists. Some insurance companies were giving discounts of almost 25%. One Farmers Insurance agent we spoke with said it's a way for companies to give back to their communities.
Everybody's trying to help get through this difficult situation. Financially, it's hurt so many people. So whatever we can do to help and continue to help, that's what we'll want to do, as will other insurance companies.
And as you may expect, if the rate of driving increases along with accidents, the money you're saving right now will decrease.
Well, dentist offices have stayed open through the pandemic, but a visit may have looked a little different due to COVID-19. At offices like Westside Family Dental, workers only allowed emergency surgeries and teeth cleanings were put on hold. Those at the office told MTN News that they're looking forward to phase 2 of Governor Steve Bullock's plan to reopen the state and are hard at work catching up on regular cleanings. They say a basic cleaning usually takes about an hour and a half. With operations returning to a new normal, some changes will remain in place as they prioritize the safety of patients and staff.
And so at this time, our hygienists are not using that. They're using their hand instrument, which takes more time, but they can be just as thorough, it just takes more time. And so with that in mind, our hygienists are actually fairly safe because we're not allowing that aerosol generating procedure to take place. And Westside says they plan to cut back on restrictions once phase 2 is in place.
Well, with just 2 weeks until Montana's primary election date, the first big outside money spending is showing up in the race for governor. The Washington, D.C. based group Emily's List, which supports women candidates, has bought nearly $700,000 in broadcast and digital ads to support Democrat Whitney Williams. Williams is competing against Lieutenant Governor Mike Cooney in the Democratic primary for governor. The ad started airing yesterday in several urban markets and focuses on Williams' opposition to the proposed Black Butte copper mine north of White Sulphur Springs. Emily's List says its independent expenditure arm, Women Vote, has paid for the ads to run until the June 2nd election day. The primary election is an all-mail ballot. More than 120,000 people have already sent in their ballots. 3 Republicans are also running for Montana's open governor's seat. Coming up, survey says Montana grain growers are getting their say when it comes to crops.
We'll have more in our Montana Ag Network report next.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. The 10 o'clock news continues on KRTV, Montana's news leader.
Welcome back. As another growing season begins, so too does the Montana Grain Growers Association annual crop survey. With more on the survey and why it's important to Montana farmers, here's the Montana Ag Network's Russell Nemitz.
The Montana Grain Growers Association's annual crop survey features weekly reports from growers, and MGGA Executive Vice President Lola Raska says it's an informal look at crop progress across Montana.
This is actually our 20th year of doing the crop survey. We've been surveying farmers every growing season ever since we started Market Manager, and it's really a popular feature on our website, and we've had some really faithful contributors over the years.
She says even though the survey isn't conducted scientifically, it does provide valuable insight from Montana farmers.
The NASS crop survey is great because they compile and average information region-wide and statewide, and those numbers are great. But what's really different about what we do is the personal comments from our producers, and it's my favorite part, and it's really the section that our growers have grown to use frequently, and they're very candid about their comments.
And she says those comments are even more important this year.
You know, especially in this time right now where social gatherings are becoming more and more limited, and that getting together with other farmers at field days and events is restricted now in the time of the pandemic, that it's, you know, this is an outlet for them to share everything like they would when they get together with other producers.
Now, the survey's comments are posted each Tuesday morning online at montanamarketmanager.org. In Billings, Russell Nemitz, MTN News.
The Montana Grain Growers Association annual crop survey continues through harvest.
And more news around the Treasure State. The first suspected case of chronic wasting disease has been found in Gallatin County. Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks received reports earlier this month of a white-tailed buck in the Spring Hill area north of Bozeman acting odd. When FWP located the animal, the deer was showing classic symptoms of the always fatal disease, including lethargy, drooping head and ears, and a sluggish response time. CWD was first detected in Montana in 2017. Since then, CWD surveillance has only been possible through the public working hand in hand with the state.
Public participation is key in management of chronic wasting disease. And every area is a little bit different, you know, in terms of urban deer populations or what some of the land management looks like. But the public will play a significant role as we learn more about chronic wasting disease.
And FWP identified more than 90 cases of CWD in Montana last year.
Tracking strong thunderstorms right now and making their way towards Canada. Temperatures will also stay below normal for the next several days. Stay tuned for my full forecast coming up right after this break.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. The 10 o'clock news continues on KRTV, Montana's news leader.
Welcome back. With Tuesday's announcement of Phase 2 beginning in June, Northwestern Energy announced on Wednesday that the Ryan Island Park outside of Great Falls will reopen too. The island usually opens on Mother's Day, but the COVID-19 pandemic delayed the opening until June 1st. It was the only Northwestern Energy property in Montana to be closed.
Now, the new hours will be from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., giving employees time in the morning to maintain the area. Northwestern Energy Public Relations Specialist Jody Black said that even though Montana's Phase 1 plan encouraged outdoor activity, opening Ryan Island at the time presented difficulties in following Phase 1 guidelines.
It's a unique outdoor facility. The entrance to it is over a bridge. And then on the island, we didn't have a way to limit the number of people that would be utilizing the site at the same time. We're being cautious, but that is to ensure the health and safety of our employees and also the public.
Black said that the Ryan Dam Clubhouse will remain closed at this time.
And those out enjoying Montana landmarks and scenery may need a jacket over the next few days. Grant Garland joins us now with more.
That's right, Keely. We're going to be expecting a few more showers over the next 36 hours. But right now, what I'm really concerned is this line of showers and thunderstorms that have really bowed out north of Glasgow right now. You can see it just right there. These storms have been really powerful and putting it into motion so that we can see, I mean, just the strength of these thunderstorms just barreling up rather, I should say, towards Canada. I mean, this line of thunderstorms produced 80-mile-per-hour gusts. So, I mean, that just packs a punch. And we are seeing severe thunderstorm warnings too, two at the moment. Right now we're looking at this severe thunderstorm warning that is affecting places like Hinsdale as well as Opine and Saco. And then farther out towards the east, we're looking at this severe thunderstorm in Daniels County right now affecting that as well as Sheridan. So a lot of activity still going on. We are looking at this severe thunderstorm watch being lifted here in, let's see, the next 35 to 40 minutes. Around 11 p.m. That's when we're expecting this severe thunderstorm watch to lift. Outside right now, we've been looking at a few lightning strikes, especially towards Helena, 54 degrees, Great Falls 51, down towards Lewistown 49, and Fort Benton a little bit warmer at 54. Overall temperatures looking at, let's say, 57 in Jordan, 61 in Glasgow. We've seen that rain-cooled air start to funnel in from the south. Miles City, 56 degrees. Now today's high here in Great Falls was 62 degrees. The record set back in 1897 when it was a whopping 94 degrees. Also the year that the Boston subway first was introduced and was the first under a metro area. How about that? That was kind of neat. I thought so anyways. As we head throughout the next couple of hours, this storm moves off towards the north quickly. We will see a few showers though trying to push in towards the Electric City by after midnight. So you might still hear a couple rumbles of thunder as you head to sleep, but I love that. So I'm welcoming it. Now as we head out tomorrow morning for work, notice that we will still deal with a few showers. Have that umbrella with you as you go out the door. And we could be looking at maybe a few showers ending in the mid-morning hours. The thing to notice here is that things really start to break apart for a partly sunny day for us all. By Friday morning too, we're going to be looking at partly sunny to partly cloudy to mostly clear skies at night. Now over the next several hours, we could receive just over 0.05 of an inch of rain here in Great Falls. Not really picking up anything in Helena. Out towards Glasgow, though, possibly another just shy of 0.3 of an inch of rain. As we head throughout, though, the morning hours, we could pick up here in the Electric City over 0.3 of an inch of rain. A lot of rain has fallen already anyways. As we head throughout the next several hours, too, I want to make sure that y'all know that we're expecting a very windy day tomorrow. Just by 6:30 in the morning, 30 to 40 mile per hour winds in Cut Bank, as well as Great Falls, 20 to 30 in Helena. At 4 p.m., we could be looking at 50 to 60 mile per hour winds in Cut Bank and 20 to 30 mile per hour winds here in the Electric City. You can always follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook as well as Twitter and even on Instagram. Yes, I'm there. I'm surprised I'm still sane. By 8 a.m., temperatures 50 degrees for Great Falls. Looking at showers dwindling, the chance for them as we head throughout the over late night hours. And 8 a.m., temperatures 49 degrees for our friends in Helena. Only looking at a shy chance for a shower too. Windy days for us though. Thursday and Friday. This weekend, mostly cloudy to partly sunny skies on Sunday. For Memorial Day, 68 degrees too. And then in Helena, we're going to be looking at a windy day tomorrow. Partly sunny skies on Friday. Breaking apart though for a partly sunny day on Sunday. 69 degrees, mostly cloudy skies on Monday. Back to y'all.
Well, from the Worm to Tiny Nate, Montana once hosted some of the NBA's most dynamic players.
A look back at the Western Invitational Tournament next.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. The 10 o'clock news continues on KRTV, Montana's news leader.
Welcome back. For 55 years, the Western Invitational Tournament in Lewistown was one of the premier amateur basketball events in the country, drawing top talent to central Montana. Our Tom Wiley takes a deep dive into the history of the tournament and shares some of the stories.
A handful of Hall of Famers played at the Western Invitational Tournament over its 55-year run. Phil Jackson, John Stockton, David Robinson, Mel Daniels, Maurice Cheeks, just to name a few. But Treasure State legend Tom Storm, who served as a player and the coach at the WIT for 30 years, says one player stood out among the rest.
The next best one would have been Nate Archibald, and he was the best player that's ever been in the WIT as far as I'm concerned. And we won that tournament. Nobody came within 25 points of us. And it was all because of Archibald. He was so good. And a quick story about Archibald, we were warming up one game, and I had a bunch of my friends in the stands, and they're all just going crazy in the stands. And I'm going to myself, what's going on? They're just going crazy over there. So anyway, after the game, I say, well, what are you guys going crazy? Well, they said, weren't you watching Archibald warm up? And I said, well, no, I was warming up myself. And they said, well, they started counting the shots that he made in a row. From the NBA, there was no three-point line back then, but he was behind the NBA three-point line. But they weren't counting the ones he made, they were counting the ones that he swished and never touched the rim. 21 in a row he swished from back there. That's why they were just counting them in order. So
Lots more stories where that came from. You can find a few more by checking out our historical look back at the Western Invitational Tournament. That's online at montanasports.com. Reporting from home, Tom Wiley, MTN News.
Thanks, Tom. And tonight, the Helena Senators and the Missoula Mavericks were set to square off in their first game of the season, but Mother Nature is pushing that game back just a day. Senators managers John Burnett confirmed to MTN Sports over the phone this afternoon that due to the field conditions and forecast for this evening, they would be postponing the game to Thursday. Aside from the date, no changes will be made to the event, with first pitch set for 7 p.m. And stick around, a final look at your forecast is next.
Heads up, folks, we are still under a severe thunderstorm watch for many of us until 11 p.m. tonight. We are also expecting a breezy day tomorrow with some 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts. Temperatures 60 degrees for Great Falls, and then for our friends in Helena too, seeing 30 to 40 mile per hour gusts, 63 degrees with rain showers in the morning.
Well, a curious squirrel in Munich is simply nuts about the beer table made especially for its small paws by a bored schoolboy. 10-year-old Maxie has had a lot of free time on his hands due to the coronavirus pandemic.
I think they're actually filling that cup with like nuts and seeds.
Yeah,
so
it's
no
not
actual
beer.
beer is
Not
in
beer.
the cup. Just a disclaimer.
The squirrels were intoxicated during the making of this.
That's a really, I think
video.
they even have an Instagram account for this squirrel. So
I'm sure he's got
social
millions of
media
followers.
Savvy. Yeah, Brandon, maybe we can get a few tips from him.
I don't know. I want one.
That's all the time we have
Squirrel or a
tonight.
turtle? Both. Good
Thanks
night.
so much for watching.